Hello and welcome to another edition of Recycle. Don't be a waster. I would hate to be known as a negative person, and so you may get sick of me sometimes on this podcast talking about the difficulties or the bottlenecks or what is blocking increased recycling in Australia, and of course that also will apply to other countries. One of the big issues, of course, is transport. It's getting waste, the niche recycling, the niche products, no matter what they are, whether bottles or different things, and getting them to actually recycling facility in an efficient and method that doesn't burn more money and create more emissions and waste than the benefits of recycling. So in today's episode, I want to cover just a couple of organizations that I've become aware of, just very recently in the last couple of weeks, that I thought I'd share with you, that I think help fill that gap. They step into that transport collection of niche products, helping reduce the cost massively for the actual residents or small businesses, so we can recycle more. So I'll run through them, and of course, as usual, I'll provide the links to their websites in the notes. So the first one is one called recyclesmart.com. I think it's predominantly based in Melbourne, but I think they operate in Sydney also, but mostly in Melbourne. And basically what they do is they drop off bags or pick up bags of waste, so quite small amounts of niche recyclable amounts, and pick them up from your doorstep. And they basically charge very low cost for this, so $5 per bag with a minimum of two bags per collection. So they call this a power collection. You can get it done every month for $10 a month. 2 bags collected. You can skip it any time, and you can charge. You get extra bags for $5. And they will pick up items such as soft plastics, obviously, which with the collapse of Red Cycle has been a real issue. You can schedule your pickups. It's quite e-friendly or website friendly. You use an app. They claim they've diverted huge amounts already from recycling, and they've been featured on many media. They've been on 9 News, ABC News, 7 News, SBS, and the reviews on Google are excellent. 4.9 stars from 695 reviews. So certainly one to watch out for. Certainly one we would promote. Their soft plastics are processed by APR Plastics, it says. And wearable clothes are donated to local charities. So there's a lot of good stuff happening, and that is one. I'll just look at the what we collect page. So they collect stuff like soft plastics, clothes and textiles, e-waste, and just odds and ends. And odds and ends are expanded polystyrene, batteries, light bulbs, that sort of stuff. So if you're like me, you've got a lot of aspirations to recycle more, but sometimes you can't get to those recycling facilities. And so this is, to be honest, I think it's a great idea. So that's recyclesmart.com is the first one. The second one I wanted to mention today is similar. It's more aimed at maybe companies, small businesses, and that is a business called matesonthemove.org. Matesonthemove.org, all one word. .org, obviously not one word, but Mates on the Move, all one word, .org. And so they provide, is more for commercial. It's providing to waste removal services to, I suppose, businesses. So they support Prisoners Aid New South Wales, which helps rehabilitate ex-offenders and get them back into the workforce. So another good news story. And they collect other niche items such as polystyrene, glass and containers for the deposit scheme, paper towels and coffee cups, which are used to make alternative fuel, I believe at the Doyle's facility in Sydney. So another great news story, and I think for a business or anyone like that, potentially look into that if you are seeking to recycle that stuff like polystyrene that really is very difficult to find. Paper towels and cups, it's hard to get rid of it without it going into landfill due to the current problems in the recycling industry. And I suppose the third one, and I found this to be a really useful resource, is on TerraCycle, who obviously we speak about a lot on this website or on our podcast, and they do niche recycling over multiple things from, again, coffee pods to toys to everything really, office waste. So they have on their website, you can find free drop-offs. And this was something I didn't realize they actually operated to this extent. So you can go to their website at TerraCycle.com. Make sure you go to the Australian website by selecting the little flag in the top. And then there's a free recycling drop-off. So certain people will set up drop-off facilities, basically where there are these product stewardship schemes, and some of the examples are BIC, the pen company. There's other examples are beauty packaging. You've got Sephora stores, Priceline, these sort of places. Even Havaiana thongs. So quite a lot of weird and wonderful items can be recycled, and it gives the list as to, you put in your postcode or your address, and it will tell you where you can go to drop these things off for free. A lot of them are very conveniently located in shopping centres and places that you're probably going to anyway. So it's the sort of a thing you can, if you haven't, you're doing a house clean-up, throw it in the back of the car, and when you're in that area, you can, drop them off for free. And I think this is great because, realistically, most people only have one or two items. Probably a TerraCycle recycling box is probably outside there, is too expensive for them. They often don't know if they can drive to a facility to drop them off. And let's be honest, the vast majority of the time, this stuff ends up in landfill. So another great opportunity, and that's our third to end this podcast. So TerraCycle on their free recycling drop-offs, and you can just go on the website and explore all the options in your area. So again, those three were recyclesmart.com, Mates on the Move, and TerraCycle. So again, we'll leave it there, and I'll say have a great week. I'm not sure what day you're listening to this on, but remember, recycle and don't be a waster.